Hi everyone, I have a really special guest right now with me on my platform, and it's one and only Manas Singh. And I just want to ask you, Manas, how is it going? How have you been?
I'm totally fine. A little tired because of the Euros. We are in the bubble right now, and bubble fatigue is a real thing. So
That's it.
can't wait to go back home. But it's been a great tournament so far, man.
Just for my audience, that Manas Singh is currently hosting the ongoing Euro 2020 action on Sony Sports. And I think it's a really huge thing. And how Euro 2020 has been going since then. How has the Euro 2020 actually been going for you? Has it been like too difficult, or like something that you expected it to happen, or like it's like kind of unexpected things happening?
I think the tournament has been really, really good fun. We've got so many narratives in the tournament. England ka obviously,
Yeah, definitely.
then the Italians unbeaten for so long. Then Denmark a remarkable story. Uh, Defending champions Portugal faltering early, world champions going out, VAR decisions, extra time, penalty shootouts, fans being back in the
Yeah, that's the
stadium,
most
which has
important
been
thing.
such a huge thing for everyone just watching the game. Like it's just brilliant to have the fans back. And for me personally, the last year and a half, we've been doing shows with no guests in the studio. So
Mhm.
finally, we have few people sitting besides me, and uh, and then Skype for me said I'm not invested in international football.
Mhm.
Like I am invested in club football. Liverpool for me is everything. It's my life. So presenting this was beautiful, is beautiful because I mean I love the game. I love the players. I love everything that's happening. But emotionally, I know I can't get hurt.
Yeah.
So, so I mean, so that's a welcome change, and it's been a great tournament. It's been a great experience, Anna.
Yeah, talking about like underdogs in this particular competition, we have seen some amazing and exceptional performances by teams and by some many amazing players. Group of death, I would say, quite like dead, I would say indeed, because I mean we saw some amazing teams in that, some big names in that, but it couldn't come out of that. And we have seen some like teams like Switzerland, teams like Czech Republic, which and Denmark especially, which have been coming to this stage, have like the big teams been underperforming, or the or the bad teams have been overperforming?
See, the good teams, two good teams are in the final. So I would say France and Portugal did underperform. They did. But Germany heading into the tournament was not in the greatest of forms. So I mean, now we have the fourth for the round of 16. Usme Portugal qualified, but Portugal were tied with Germany on 4 points. So that and Hungary were kind of unlucky because all three games they defended really well, and last moment pe
I mean, actually,
Goretzka
if
scored.
you see, Hungary was kind of one of the best teams in the group, I would say, because they kind of gave a fair competition to each team in that group.
That's the thing now about Euro. It's the gulf of class is not
Yeah,
that much. Someone like a North Macedonia who entered for the
yeah,
first
definitely.
time, 2-1 against Ukraine. I mean, they held fort. I mean,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
scored
definitely.
goals. They were comfortable on the ball. So the worst team on paper, rank wise, also was so comfortable. Also was creating chances. Also, you could say that they could win on their day against anyone. So I wouldn't say that teams have underperformed or teams have overachieved. Denmark certainly did overachieve, but this is Euros, yeah. I mean, think about 2002 ke baad, all the World Cup winners have been from Europe.
Yeah.
So this is 19 years of domination in world football. So this tournament is as good as it can get. So it's not a surprise that the 24 involved have been so competitive for me.
Talking about that, I mean, how we have seen football evolve from time. Like
Yeah.
how can you like compare football that is right now and that has been there in the last decade, or like early 2000s? What has kind of evolved for you? Like what kind of style or what kind of things have evolved for you?
So when I was, that's a very interesting question. When I was growing up, I was a teenager during the early 2000s.
Hmm.
uh, it wasn't I wouldn't say totally, but it was an individual driven or moment of brilliance driven thing as well. You saw Zidane just take over a game. You saw Ronaldinho just take over a game. You know, उतना अभी नहीं दिखता है. It's more system driven. It's more of a team effort. Not that it's bad. It has its pros and cons as well. But if you moments of brilliance, just a man or a lady just dominating the game altogether, we don't see that anymore. You know, uh, a cup final, you remember it for one player's amazing game. It doesn't happen anymore. It's just so at times the systems are rigid. Now we are seeing, teams play three at the back, five at the back. Uh, 4-4-2 has gone out of the window in the
Yeah, yeah. True.
2000s. 4-4-2 was the
One of the
formation,
prime
right?
team, yes, in a formation, yes.
And now a 4-4-2 is a rarity, even in club football, So maybe how you express yourself as a player has changed for the good or for the bad is for people to talk about that. But yeah, systems have changed. Managers have become so
Yeah, I
important
mean the
now.
competition, yeah, it has become more competitive than it was. Talking about evolvement, like a few months back, obviously fans had a big dilemma, or like something that fans didn't appreciate well was the UEFA Super League. I want to ask, is the UEFA Super
European
League?
Super League.
Yeah, sorry,
European Super League.
European Super
Yeah.
League.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask, was that kind of like a way to evolve football, or was it just to point out that money does matter?
See, it is going to happen someday.
Yeah.
It is a question of when rather than if. Uh, money is, see, every football club now is a business. We have our emotions, we are invested emotionally, but the fact of the matter is that we as fans are a commodity for many owners. I'm not saying all the owners. For many owners, we're a commodity and it's a business for them. As a Liverpool supporter, I feel at times, yeah, why can't we sign a big name? At times, I feel that.
Yeah.
But if the European Super League existed, boom, we can sign anyone.
Yeah.
We have that leverage of. So it's a balancing act. European Super League का एक ही flaw था, that the exclusivity. These teams can never get promoted and relegated.
Yeah.
Some teams, the owner teams, and ये 20 एक साथ ही खेलते रहेंगे. Like 10-20 जितने भी होंगे. So the promotion, relegation, fans, whether we wanted to see it or not, हमसे पूछा ही नहीं.
Yeah, true.
That was the flaw of. There are so many flaws, but fundamentally, the exclusivity, fans, it just was the wealthy trying to become more wealthy. And I can understand why as well, because come on, you cannot turn down $4 billion.
Yeah, I mean, no club is gonna do that. But
Yeah.
on like a weaker clubs, wasn't it unfair for them? Not to be a part of such a big league.
Of course. That's what I'm saying. Exclusivity, right? Like you create at least a system where someone can have a fair chance. It didn't exist. Abhi someone who's battling promotion and relegation to stay in the top flight of the respective country. I mean, how would they be feeling, man? Like I mean, we are just talking. We take a Coventry City fan, take a Leganes fan in Spain, take a Sassuolo fan in Italy. I'm talking about top tier teams. अब there are teams जो second, third, fourth division में. मतलब वो fans को तुम totally alienate कर रहे हो. So is football now for just the top tier people, start of the society, and it's not that. We want to see stories like a Leicester winning the Premier League.
Yeah.
Maybe you never know what can happen in the future.
Yeah, I mean, because there were some teams like in the Super League, I wouldn't name them, but some teams which weren't deserving, which haven't performed in the last 5, 6 years, 7 years, but still they have given this opportunity to actually be in this elite group. Yeah.
Arsenal, Tottenham, what have they done?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That they have been given an opportunity to be in this elite group, and so
that's the point. They have fans. The owners have money. They want to make money. So it's not even like the deserved people are qualifying. It's just, हाँ तू मेरा दोस्त है, तू मेरा दोस्त है, तू मेरा दोस्त है, हम अमीर हैं और अमीर होते हैं साथ. It was that.
Yeah, completely.
Why would we do it?
Exactly my point. You have been working in this industry for like many years now. You know how things are working, how things. Any tips or something that you would like to give to audience to who are actually going into sports journalism, something into anchoring, something into sports? How has your journey been there, and like how you can start things off?
Journalism, honestly, I don't know. Anchoring, I can try to.
Yeah,
I mean, because I'm not a journalist, uh, not a good anchor either. But
that would
the
I would
the
say that, but
2014, I interned with Sony
mhm.
for the World Cup, and great experience. What I'll tell people is that intern, learn, learn the process. Which important thing is that you have to love the sport.
Hmm.
You have to know the sport, like know the sport in the sense that ultimately we are live,
Yeah,
okay, and if you have to speak for 90 minutes when you're live, it is all based on your knowledge, and C is your research, how much you are willing to invest. I research for a game at least 5-6 hours, like
I mean
my
that
research.
is actually much needed before you actually go on a national television and like
Yeah, so you, I mean, everything, your research, your knowledge, your internship, learning the process. I don't personally think that there is a course that can uh, help you become an anchor. Like
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
being very honest. A lot of people ask me, "Ki, what did you study?" I'm like, that's like I studied BMS, but it's not relevant at all
yeah.
to what I do for a living. I was young. I played football when I was young, so I have that attitude of an athlete. Maybe not the muscles and the body of an athlete, but I have the attitude of an athlete, and that has helped me quite a lot. So yeah, education is important, but when it comes to what you want to do and what you want to become as a sports presenter, it's not that important. It's about what you learn, and it's about having a personality. Yeah. Like you have to be very thick-skinned. Have to be very thick-skinned
That I think is
because
much more important, like staying and surviving in this kind of industry, because I mean obviously you are around people all the time, and it's
everyone has an opinion, man. Everyone has an opinion.
that's
So, and it's not easy when millions are watching you and you goof. What's your thing? What do you want to do, Naman? Because now you are in sport. You've studied, right?
I mean,
Sports management.
I haven't studied sports. I mean, like you, I have also done a degree that is some like, not even close to sports. I was like, I love sports. Play football. I used to play other sports, and like I never thought that can be my interest. But gradually, when I started watching football, started like playing, started like going around with people who know football, I kind of thought like, why shouldn't I make a career out of it? Why shouldn't I go towards it? And so some like starting with this platform as well, starting the treble was something that came up in my mind, that why not just start with it and let's see how it
Yeah.
goes. 24 teams in the Euros, and now we are just with two of them. So is it gonna be coming home, or is it coming to Rome?
In the words of Kasper Schmeichel, it has never come home, has it? Right. So,
Yes.
uh, and the fascination. I just find football so amazing at times. Uh, we're not even Englishmen, and a lot of us support England, and I can understand why, because like it's just something which we've grown up watching the Premier League, so we have a sort of association with that English team. I think Italy will win.
It's
I
good.
think they're going to spoil the party. They will spoil the party, and that will be heartbreaking for so many people. The dream final, man. Like, is it coming home? Is it going to Rome? What's your prediction?
I mean, I have been supporting France, but unfortunately, it's gone. And but so I would be supporting Italy for that matter.
I just hope it's a good game, man.
Yeah, like I expect something more from the finals. Manas, it was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for coming and to this platform. I hope we do something more. And thank you so much for coming.
Pleasure is all, man. Thank you so much, Naman.